What's going on, everyone? We're the COD Casuals. I'm Justin.
And I'm Mike.
We're going to be reacting to the Into the Breach series by the Boston Breach. It's basically a docu-series that the professional Call of Duty team does, and we're going to put out a 5-part series out on YouTube exclusively. So if you want to come over and watch our reactions, go over there.
Absolutely. So if you want to go see that content, again, click the link. And otherwise, enjoy the rest of the podcast episode. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 131 of the COD Casuals podcast. We're your host, Mike.
I'm Justin.
Justin, different setup today, bro.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm good. We're so for the people listening to the audio version, we're not in person right now. We are online.
We are in two totally different spots. You're in home, and then I'm at home.
Yep.
In my beautiful spot here.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's very weird.
It is weird for the people that are listening onto the audio version. Normally, Mike and I are always, at my place and we're recording like in person, right? But now we have the option to do it online, and a lot of podcasts do online versions, but we both believe that you can't replicate the same energy, I feel like, when you're online versus in person.
No, you definitely can't. I mean, I always will prefer having in person.
Yeah,
it's just I don't know. I mean, but even still though, like I think part of it too is just the chemistry that we have. You know, like I think we can do it online or do it in person, and it's still the same. I think though, like when we have guests, because all the guests that we've had, we've done in person. Like that definitely is way different. If it's going to be like online, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you guys want to see our POV, we're go to the YouTube. That's where it is. We're putting, we put out the Into the Breach series. Like that shows our POV and everything. So go to the YouTube.
Yeah, right. And we did that all online too, which that went fine.
Yeah.
I feel like that honestly though, that works best online, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Reaction stuff.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of weird doing it in person.
Yeah. There is doing it in person though, like is definitely different.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that would be fun, because seeing fan reactions and stuff to a sports play, like a huge highlight, like live on TV.
Yeah.
It's like that environment.
Right.
But yeah, no, I mean, I'm good. It's how about you?
Dude, I'm chilling, bro. I mean, dude, we would just went on a whole rant as we always do beforehand, because we just like to complain and bitch about everything. I mean, dude, I went to the grocery store today. I went and dropped my eggs. I was devastated about this. Never going to financially recover from this. And then then for people out there too, I don't know if anybody who listening, if they have glasses that deal with contacts, bro, we were just complaining about this, how it is so expensive to be trying to get like new frames, get new lenses. Like, I mean, obviously people who watch, they know that I wear glasses pretty much 24/7. I don't need to wear glasses though. Like I can see without them. My vision, it's way better with glasses, but you're blind without them pretty much.
Yeah.
You know,
I need my contacts and glasses.
Could you not function throughout the day if you didn't have glasses on or didn't have your contacts in?
Probably. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. Like, if I didn't wear my contacts and I'm working from home, like I could get by, but I'd be like in the screen, like looking at stuff.
But say you gotta like, oh, I gotta go to grocery shopping. I gotta go drive pick up.
I can't drive. There's no way I could drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, my vision's is blurry. But I know people that are. It's funny because your definition of blind is me, but my definition of blind is when I like a couple of my friends. Like I have one buddy, he's at -8.
Dude.
I'm like, dude. So like for the people watching, right? So if I have my contacts off, right? So I don't know how wide this can get. Like I could read this.
Yeah.
Right. But I have friends that if you're at like -8, you're like here.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can for the most part, like if I have my glasses off, I can pretty much read. I can read most things. I mean, I can't remember if it's nearsighted or farsighted. I can't remember which one it is. I can't see far away. Close up, I'm good. Yeah, nearsighted. Yeah. But when I went and did my test for my eye exam, she was like, "Oh, you pretty much have the exact same vision." I was like, "Pretty much?" She's like, "Well, the exact same. Like, it
Yeah.
hasn't changed at all." But dude, that gives me so much anxiety when you do those and they're like, "Okay, do you prefer,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
first one or the second one?" I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm like I was all the time, I'm like, "Run that back.
Yeah.
Let me see that one again."
Yeah, I was telling you when I got my eye exam, I was doing a test where I had to follow
Yeah,
this
dude,
green
this is
dot out of
good.
the red dots, and it just tracks your eyes. And after I finished that test, my doctor was like, "Do you play video games at all?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, I do. I play a lot of Call of Duty." And she was saying that your eyes, compared to her normal patients and stuff, you track way quicker than everyone else. It's like I was like, "Oh, really?" And she said that gamers have they have a tendency they're way quicker at stuff like that, just tracking. And I was like, "Oh,
Right.
shout out Call of Duty because that explains it."
Dude, it came in clutch for you right there.
I know, yeah.
You
But
get to hold that stat line.
I thought that was interesting. We have faster reaction times, like
Yeah, dude,
tracking.
definitely. I mean, you know what I wanna do too is, I'm sure you've seen it, like, where people, they're holding the tennis balls, right?
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
they go and they
Drop.
drop them
Yeah,
like that. Bro, I wanna do that so bad because I
yeah,
feel like I don't know if when you're playing, do you ever, like, you'll maybe be moving one way, but you're kind of looking over to the right
yeah, yeah.
side, like, so you don't get
At the same
caught, like,
time.
with awful timing or camera,
Yeah.
you know? And, like, hit those reactions.
Mm,
Um, yeah, I definitely I feel like I could do really, really well at that.
yeah. See that's the thing. It's gaming does increase your reaction time, but it reaction and coordination are not correlated at all.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Yeah, because you have to
Well,
think
maybe
about
they
it,
are,
like, it
but you know what I mean? Like I'm sure you'd be fine, but like I'm sure there are other gamers out there that if they did that, their reaction time would be good, but they won't be able to catch the ball. You know what I mean? Like they're
right.
there,
Right,
but
right,
they
right.
can't catch it because
Right.
the coordination's
Right,
not
right,
there.
right. Yeah. Well, I remember that, remember when you were talking about, like, the coordination thing for
Mhm.
when I went and got the Scuf?
Yeah.
Um, you were like, "Oh, it's probably gonna take a while," and I was surprised too that it really didn't take me that long
Yeah.
to get used to that, just because, like, from playing guitar,
Mhm.
like, having the strength in those fingers
Yeah,
and, like,
the
the
dexterity.
finger independence,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
to be able to use that.
Mhm.
Um, but I don't know, I mean, think about in those moments when, like, there's something that happens, I mean, that's, like, the difference between people who have ice and people who choke all the time,
Yeah, yeah.
is, like, we'll see something happen, like, in a split second, we have to react and do the correct button input
Mhm.
to be able to actually get that kill.
Yeah.
Because 'cause we've seen those people too where, like, they do something and they, like, dive or they
Yeah.
mantle. I'm like, "Bro, what are you
Yeah,
doing?"
yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
your brain, you're like, "Oh," and you hit, like, I don't know, like L3 or some stupid
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah. No, that's it's definitely a thing. Gamers, we have really good reaction times. Speaking of that, I
Better
know
beverage.
we were talking about, my Scuf at one point. Dude,
Bro, give us the update on the poor Scuff.
so my Scuf, I've told you guys, the L3 on it when I sprint in melee sometimes, and dude, I had, like, a month and a half span where it wasn't doing that. I don't know
Right,
why. It just wasn't doing it. 'Cause I go in and I shoot like 100 bots. Like, I always do that. But when this was
right.
happening, I'm like, "Oh, I'm good. I can just load up into a pub." But the past couple of days, it's just been bad. Like, it just won't work. And I swear, I've said it in a episode. I swear my Scuff knows when I'm pissed off because the more I melee and die, I start, like, crunching my controller, and it's just like,
Yeah.
"Yep, nope. No. I'm not gonna
It
work
right,
because you're doing that."
right, right, right. It knows that you're getting pissed off.
Yeah, and when we were playing, I had enough of it and I turned on auto tac sprint, but dude, it's crazy the difference between
Oh,
auto
yeah.
tac sprint and just bruh, like not
Yeah,
having it
actually,
on.
like, regular attack sprint, yeah.
Because it's yes, I feel like I'm flying all the time, but mechanically, my movement, it doesn't work because I get
Hmm,
caught a lot, uh, because of my play style. I get caught a lot, and I feel like I can't play as, strategically 'cause I don't know, you know my play style. I feel like I definitely like I'll kill someone and then I'll run around a corner and just lay down, sit and wait or something like that instead of like running and
Right.
shouting. I'm like that type of
Right.
person. Creddy, whatever. I think I am a creddy, but it's just being
Smart.
smart. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. There, I got you.
but when you have auto tax sprint on, playing like that is hard, very hard.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a blend because like on one side of it, I remember we were thinking about this during the Vanguard time because it does save your controller from having to like mash that much.
Mhm,
Um, but I remember I tried it in
mhm.
Vanguard and just like you, I could not get used to
Well,
it. It was
so
so annoying.
that's another good point. It might just be the game. It might just be MW2, but in Vanguard, I did use auto tax sprint.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did. But I don't know, it felt like it fit in that game. I did it mainly to save my controller, but also I don't know, I felt like the tax sprint in that I don't know, it's different because there's slide
Well,
canceling and stuff, and in this game, it
well, that's
feels like
true.
clunkier and heavier.
And then think too, right? Like in certain things like search and destroy, auto tax sprint is pretty much a death sentence.
Yeah.
You know, like you can't, there's no way. Like in Vanguard, if you're running around with auto tax sprint,
Mhm,
like that's not a big deal. You know,
mhm.
like, yeah, you could still be like heard,
Yeah.
but if you're playing MW2 with tax sprint on
Mhm,
and you're just flying around on an S&D map
mhm.
without dead silence, I mean, it's over. Like
Yeah.
everybody's going to be hearing you. So your strategy point, like it doesn't work at all.
Yeah, and I think too in Vanguard, a lot of it's the guns too. Like the
Yeah.
MP40 and auto just ripped when you had auto tax sprint on. You can like
Yeah.
snap and kill someone
Right.
quick.
And bring them, yeah, bring them up really quick too.
Yeah, yeah. And in this game, you can do that with the Vaz. Like I was fine playing with auto tax sprint with the Vaz, but the tac, I don't it's different. The way that I play in this game, I
Right.
can't with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
tough. So I don't know if we have time after this episode, maybe we'll play and like I'll try it again and turn it off. But I was getting frustrated, dude. Because even in rank, like dude, I was not dropping the stat line that I normally drop. I just kept going
Oh,
neg.
yeah.
Like it's just
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
pace. The pacing on the map. It just feels different. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Oh, it's yeah, it's immediate. I mean,
Mhm.
and like the hardest thing is there's nothing that I can do about it. So
Yeah,
I just see this going down and I'm just like,
yeah,
like I know that like my duo is just going through hell right now trying
hmm
to deal with this issue and there's nothing you can do about it. Um
hmm
yeah, it definitely does change, like, the pace of the game and just overall how we're feeling, because then, like,
yeah,
I could tell, like, you're quiet or the vibes are low. I'm like, now I'm getting bummed out. I'm like, it's
yeah.
yeah, it definitely
That's the
does
thing.
suck.
I have to concentrate a lot more when shit like that
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
And so, sometimes like it does work out. Other times it's just I'm just playing different. It feels so different.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
when one of us is not playing well, I swear it has an immediate effect of pacing. You can literally feel it on the map. Nothing's
Oh,
flowing.
yeah. Yeah, nothing's flowing and just, like, where the enemy's able to get up to, like, when we're
Mhm.
playing, that's what
Yeah.
I immediately feel too. Like, I see
The
where they're
timings
killing
are
us. I'm
so
like,
off.
"Dude." Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, "We're
Timings are
not we're
so
not getting
off.
the kills that we're supposed to be. We're not where we should be because we're not
Mhm.
getting these kills, because one of us is, like, not playing how we normally are."
Yeah.
And then everything just falls apart.
Yeah, and you guys know one of my biggest pet peeves is, like, not being ready at the go when the counter hits 0, and especially in S&D, you need to hit that route quick, and if you can't tack
Yeah,
sprint or, like, just sprint right away, it throws the timing off, and,
yeah,
like, the Mercado, for example, if that's what's dumb about tack sprint. I hate tack sprint so much, like, just let me sprint. Um,
yeah, I hope they get rid of it.
because dude, if you're just normally sprinting, it feels like you're speed walking,
Right.
and it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, the tack sprint should be the sprint,
Yeah, like they
you know?
just go to Cold War. Just go
Yeah,
back to that.
seriously. I mean, dude, thinking about it now though, like the problem, I say that the problem, but just for myself, can you imagine how weird it would be to go back to that game? Like I would be probably mashing
Oh, yeah,
on
yeah.
Cold War because I'm
Mhm,
just not used to it anymore.
mhm.
Like this has just been the new iteration of these CODs where
Yeah.
they've I mean, and I'm assuming part of it is because of Warzone, but they've just made it like the okay. I
Mhm.
mean, it's the norm to have tax print in there, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I remember going from MW to Cold War, or yeah, MW to Cold War,
Yeah,
and I was, like, tax printing for the first, like, week. Maybe
right.
not a week, maybe, like, couple days, but, like, it's just
Yeah,
it you can transition, like, pretty easily, but, again, Cold War just did it right because it wasn't you could just hit L3 and you're sprinting you have a unlimited sprint.
right.
Like, you don't need to, like, press it, and then you're running, your guy or girl, like, tires out, and then you gotta sprint again. Why don't we just go to unlimited sprint, no tax sprint, and we're fine.
Yeah. I feel like though, unfortunately, I think tax sprint's gonna be here for the long haul. I
Yeah.
mean, I think it'll change perhaps when Treyarch goes and makes their Call of Duty title. That's when
Mhm,
we'll see maybe a change.
mhm,
But I mean, like we know MW3, like we've said it 1,000 times and everybody knows it's gonna be pretty much a like MW2 2.0.
mhm.
Um, it's gonna have tax sprint in there for sure.
Yeah, and, I mean, speaking of movement, right, they updated the slide in MW2, and the slide is significantly faster, like, I can feel it in this game now when you're sliding, because a lot of people are sliding more than dolphin diving now, because
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah, I
quicker.
was gonna say, I mean, this was part of the, like, part of the season 5, like, loadout, I guess, that they had done with it.
Mhm,
I mean, we won't talk too much about it, we'll save like, we'll talk about it, I guess, a little bit later, but, um, the 2 things that they did in this that I don't understand, which we'll go talk about right now is the movement change, but the other
yeah,
thing too that I wanna talk on for, like, 5 seconds and just hate on it. Dude, what's up with on the right side of the screen, all
mhm,
this damage bullshit? What is that?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I think that is the most unnecessary thing. It's
mhm,
like, it dirties up the screen.
yeah,
It's worthless stuff. I don't get who
yeah,
was thinking that that would be a good thing to add in there.
mhm.
Um, I hate it.
Oh,
I hate it.
I hate it too, and for the people that don't know what it is, that haven't played MW2 since then, is it's it's literally a second kill feed, but a kill feed only for you, and it's just
Yeah,
it's pointless because you have your standard kill feed in the bottom left, and then this thing, it's in the, like, top right corner, and it's only for you. So if, I die and one enemy got, like, 50 damage on me, and then another enemy got the other 50 and finished me off, it'll show 2 lines that, you know, Joe did 50 and Mike did another 50. Like, that doesn't do anything for me. There's literally no point.
right.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah, it's worthless information.
yeah, and it just takes up the screen, and I know when I loaded in and I saw that, I'm like, "This is blocking up the screen," and I couldn't see, like, an enemy because it
Yeah.
like, it's nice that it pops up only when you die, but again, it just should not be there. It's pointless.
Well, and the thing too, like if you've been playing, you maybe think like, oh well, it goes away when you spawn back in.
Mhm,
There is a bit of a delay where it is there for when you spawn in,
mhm,
and we know like depending on the map that you're playing, dude, those spawns can be crazy.
mhm.
Um, like I remember when it happened to me on what was it on Dome.
Dome.
And I
Yeah,
spawned
duh,
up yeah,
exactly, that map.
I spawned up and, like, it maybe took 2 seconds, and I'm already in a gunfight, and it's, like, obstructing my screen, you
Mhm,
know? And it's like, "What the hell?" I don't get why they would wanna change that HUD, like,
mhm.
at all,
I
you
just
know?
yeah.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
get why that info is needed. Because I mean, dude, when I die, I don't know about you guys, I mean, let us know, but I'm not really curious how much damage one person's doing to me over the other. Like, it doesn't matter. I mean, unless they're trying to solve a way where, there are times where, like, "How did I die?" Like, that's insane that I died like that. But
Right.
that doesn't really solve that problem, you know?
I can't remember now. Did BO4, when you would kill somebody, would it
Mhm.
say on the bottom, like it would say the name of the person, then would it say like the damage that was dealt to that person?
In BO4, it was if you shot like
I
an
thought there
enemy,
was.
it would pop the numbers up on your screen because they
Yeah,
like had a bar
right,
over
well,
it. Yeah,
yeah, they had a health bar, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, there was that, but then I could have sworn there was something too, like, it would say the amount of damage, like, say you got, I don't know, because that game had EKIAs
mhm,
too, right? So then say you, like, I don't know, you go and kill somebody or, like, you get him one shot and
yeah,
then I finish the kill.
mhm,
I thought that it would say on their thing, like, I did 20 damage. Because what was that game, 150? Is that
yeah.
what it was for yeah.
For health,
So it'd say,
yeah.
like, I did
Mhm.
right, I would do 20, like, 20 points. I could have sworn I
I
could be wrong.
I don't think so. I think what you're thinking is it definitely showed it when you, like, killed the enemy and the numbers
Yeah,
popped up, like, on the loading bar.
right. Yeah, that's absolutely right, I remember that.
Yeah.
But I could have sworn that they did something like that. I
Mhm.
mean, could be wrong, but, like, to that point, why couldn't they integrate something like that then? Like, you get
Yeah.
a kill and, like, at the bottom of it,
Mhm.
like, right where your character is, they could show the name and just show the amount of damage that was done, you know?
Mhm.
And then when you die, right, like, that
Mhm.
whole thing that they have on the right side,
Mhm.
just show, like, 1 person. I don't need to
Mhm.
see, like, 4 people,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Oh, wait, no,
It's
I know what you're talking about. When yeah, when an enemy dies, a little, it was like an emblem thing, like, it would pop up at the bottom, like,
yeah.
of your
Yeah, yeah,
screen,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
way at the
yeah.
bottom, and
Yep,
it showed
yep.
the player's name and, yeah, the damage that
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
But to think about that. If they're doing that for every kill you got, right? And on top of that, they had the health bar above an enemy, and the numbers would be flying off the screen, and it didn't like it wasn't obtrusive at all. And for this,
Right.
they put this up in the like top right, and now we can't see anything.
Yeah.
So what is
No, this was a moronic move,
yeah,
by
I think it's gonna
Infinity
change.
Ward.
I think it'll change.
Yeah,
um,
I hope they get enough complaints and people are just like, we don't need this at all,"
yeah,
and then they end up getting rid of it.
because
And again too, like, it's just something that's so late too, like, we're in season 5 here, bro. Why are we doing this? Maybe they're
yeah,
doing it because no one's playing the game anymore and they don't care? Like, I don't
I
know.
don't know, but I to your point, like Black Ops 4, I remember when they added they're saying, yeah, you can see the health, but like the numbers specifically, they're gonna pop
Right,
up. And I remember both of us. Um, I was like, that's weird. Like, isn't that
right.
gonna be annoying or anything? But your eyes just go past it.
Yeah,
Like it doesn't it's not obtrusive or anything. But yeah, like you said,
yeah.
this game, why are they why are they doing that now? Like the movement, I don't know. I think the slide's really good now. This should have been in the game in the beginning.
I know.
Like, well,
Like
it's faster now. And I don't again, like you said, I don't know it's because the game's almost over or is this a movement in MW3? They're like, "Oh, MW3 slide is faster, so now let's just increase it."
right.
So if that's the
Maybe they're
case,
trying
then
to, like yeah, they're trying to, like, kinda get you ready to go, which I'm here for that because I mean,
yeah,
we
we're
know how
playing
it
it.
is. A lot of people, they go and they hop off COD and then they lose it,
Yeah.
for when the next one comes out. So if this is close to what the MW3 movement's gonna be, sure.
Mhm.
If it's not that case and they're just doing some random thing,
Yeah.
what the
What?
fuck?
Yeah, no, I
Like
agree. Because if this is for MW3, then that means that Sledgehammer is realizing, "Alright, we need to speed this stuff up. We need to make it
right,
faster." It's like, "Alright, Infinity Ward's gonna listen and do it." But if Infinity Ward's just like, "Oh, yeah, let's just increase it." Why not?
right.
Why not now? Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, personally though, I do like the change.
I do too.
I
I
remember
just think
we
it's way
talked.
better earlier.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like it's the case of like too little, too late.
Mhm.
For a lot of people, but I don't know either if it's something that starts with the Warzone community and then it makes its way down to like to the actual multiplayer, which I would assume
Mhm.
that's usually the path that they're following with some of these changes. Um, but yeah, it's weird. The slide definitely is faster. I mean, you can slide and shoot now at the same time. It's
Mhm.
not instantaneous, but it is very noticeable.
Yeah.
And then also like the slide to actually being able to ADS is quicker. Um, I don't know if it was just because we were tweaking, but it seemed too like the tack sprint was different.
Mhm.
Um, like it seemed like it wasn't really regenerating as fast or wasn't working as much.
Yeah.
Um,
Definitely slower.
which yeah, but in the notes though, when I looked them up, it didn't seem like anything had been altered in that case.
Mhm.
But at the same time, to that point, there's a whole glitch that's going on right now too with your was it the aim assist?
Yeah, the aim assist. It's
Yeah,
the
this is
rotational
still
aim
going on.
assist. Yeah, and I thought I was tweaking just because my tack sprint wasn't working. I'm like, "Oh my god," like, I'm just in my
Yeah,
head, like, just because of that.
dude,
But then I
me
saw
too.
I saw confirmation from, it was Charlie Intel. They said that, yeah, the rotational, aim assist is, like, it seems messed up. Something's wrong. And it's
Right,
so because there are times, like, I'm shooting with my and here come the mouse and keyboard people, "Oh, wow, you can't play without aim assist, blah, blah, blah." This isn't a debate, alright? Like,
right. I don't
hop
want to hear
off.
it.
Um, but when I'm shooting, all of a sudden, like, my aim's just like when I try to go back and forth, it's just, like, hovering around them. My bullets
Right.
are just spreading, and it's weird. And when I'm
Yeah,
not, when I snap on people, it feels super loose. Very,
yeah,
very loose.
yeah. And I notice it too in gunfights when I'm very close, uh, like the target's here and I'm shooting like right over there,
Mhm.
and it's like I'm just barely missing
Yeah.
these. Um, yeah, and I had the same kind of thing. I would be playing and I like felt this in my stomach. I'm like,
Mhm.
bro, am I terrible? Am I
Mhm.
awful right now? Like, have I lost it? There's no way. Like, how was I hitting these shots before? But it's very inconsistent.
Yeah.
Because there were times today when I was playing where I mean I played only like 3 or 4 games, but
Mhm.
um there were times where I was just snapping on people. And then there were some of those times too where I'm like, there's no way. There's
Yeah.
no way I didn't get that kill.
Yeah.
Um yeah,
I
I don't know if when they're gonna fix it though.
yeah, I don't know, 'cause I feel it more using, an AR than, like,
Yeah.
anything. The Vaz is I feel it in the Vaz too, but it's just not as consistent, like you said.
Right.
If it's, like, mid-range, then, yeah, I feel it, 'cause there are times
Well,
when we're
yeah.
'cause I remember day 1 of the update, I was like, "Dude, is your aim assist, like, weird?" Like, I feel like I'm circling these guys sometimes.
Right.
And you were like, "Yeah, I don't know. It might just be a placebo because we're just overthinking it because that happens."
Right.
But
Right.
no, it's definitely a thing. The aim assist is very off right now. And I was playing, when we're playing ranked together, there are just some shots with my scar, or the tack, I'm like, "That person should have died. I don't know what's
Yeah.
happening."
Oh, dude, same here. I mean, there are plenty of those, and
Mhm.
same thing. I'm just like sitting there tweaking. Like
Yeah.
I can't even fathom. Like, bro, there's no way. Like, come on, I haven't lost my shot
Mhm.
at all. Like to be able to be missing a shot like that,
Yeah,
and I
overnight.
could feel it. Yeah, and exactly. Like within only a couple of hours,
Mhm.
and I almost could like feel it too.
Mhm.
Like there was some resistance in my thumb. I know I probably sound like a psychopath, but it's like
Mhm.
you know what I'm talking
No,
about.
I know what you're
Like you
talking
could
about, yeah.
yeah, I'm like, "Dude, I just can't, like, get over
Mhm.
1 millimeter to be able to actually
Yeah,
hit
I'm
this
like,
guy."
"What's wrong with my control freak? What the hell is happening?"
Yeah, oh, yeah,
Yeah,
bro, I'm over here again with taking the control
yeah.
freak, blowing
Dude,
it
I
off. I'm
literally,
like,
like,
"Dude,
I was
stay still."
stretching my thumb yesterday. Like, when I was playing, I
Yeah,
felt like, "Oh, maybe I just need to, like, push my thumb up more, like, extend it more."
yeah,
And dude,
yeah.
my palm right here, for people that are watching, pointing to my palm right now or listening, it started cramping, like, it tightened up when I was playing. I was like,
Not
"Oh,
really.
shit, that hurt."
Yeah.
Um, but
No, dude,
that yeah.
I need to, like, going on about things like that, dude, I need to go and get a new controller or a new control freak
Mhm,
because my one right now, like, I don't know, there's a thing with it, like, I'm showing it right now, if we could see it.
mhm.
I love this thing, kinda
Yeah,
with the light on it. But dude, this stick here,
yeah,
dude, it's, like, slightly domed in,
yeah,
and, I mean, you could go and, like, take these things and move them.
yeah.
Bro, I have not been able to find the spot that I liked it on
Liked it, yeah.
because I remember it popped off at some
Mhm.
point, and then I tried to put it back to where it was, and now I can never find that spot again.
Yeah,
Because
I'll
every
just
time I go and I put it on, I'm like, "Nope." Like, that's just my thumb doesn't
mine.
fit nicely in there.
Yeah, mine, you definitely can see because I have there's, like, a logo on mine. It's like a skull. So
Yeah.
if I move mine around, like, I know where the indent actually is just by looking at the face.
Right.
But
Yeah.
no, yeah, dude, I was playing on, strike, control strike, and I was shooting my tack. All of a sudden, my shot's just, like, missing. And then I get
Right.
gunned out this window. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, no way. What the heck happened?"
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's when
yeah.
I went to go, like, stretch my thumb up even more, and
Right.
then I got a cramp, and
Yeah,
it
yeah,
hurt,
yeah.
like, a lot.
Damn, dude. You have to put the controller down and take a
Do
quick
a went
5-minute break.
stretch. Yeah, to stretch my thumb,
Yeah,
and then I
dude.
realized, alright, yeah, aim assist is just it's messed up. Uh,
Yeah, so I don't know when they're gonna end up, making this change. I mean, I'm happy to see though that they realize that this is a problem.
yeah.
Um, unlike I remember, going our favorite game Vanguard, where there were blatant issues that they just never acknowledged. They
Mhm.
were completely in denial. Um, so thankfully, like we weren't the only ones just thinking that we're losing our minds here.
Yeah.
I hope the fix comes. Like, I mean, honestly, within the week.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine that's a big fix for them.
Yeah.
It's
That
some
in the
it's some
sprint.
sort of bug.
Yeah. And speaking of that, we did play the new maps, played
Yeah.
Strike. I played Control on it, and I don't know if you have yet. Like, have you played Control Strike?
No.
But regardless, it feels like, the COD format for the most part. It's clean. I wish this map came in way earlier again, because that would have been a
Yeah.
good competitive map because I used to play it.
Would have been a really good S&D map.
Yeah. But
Really,
I
really
will
good.
say, dude, controls insane. The spawn trap you can put on them. I swear to God, we had these guys in the spawn trap the entire game. They didn't flip once. Like, they didn't
Where do
spawn
they,
outside.
are they like the
uh
the normal spawns where, like, they spawn like that back
the
one
back
side's like the
the
back
dumpster.
junkyard?
Yeah, yeah. The where the dumpsters are. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you we're spawn trapping them there. They didn't move. They didn't spawn like parallel near the flag or anything the
Yeah.
entire game. And I dropped
That's gross.
55 kills just like there. Like,
Yeah.
where
Sh
the pillar is, like that statue?
Yep.
Yeah, like right sort of like in the middle of the map.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um if you're there, you can like look over towards like the garbage can, and I just sat
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. Right.
And then I just ran in with my Vaz, and they're just spawning on top of me.
That's yeah,
It's
that's insane.
insane. The spawn trap is gross.
I mean, I guess that's I wouldn't say it's, like, always a big, argument regarding getting rid of control. I mean, because
Mhm.
we watch it in competitive all the time,
Yeah.
and it's not to say difficult to make a good control map,
Mhm.
but that is something you have to factor in is the
Yeah,
spawning system
definitely.
because, like, all these maps, in this game were not made for control.
Mhm.
Control was always the secondary thought, um and some of those, like, you can put these people in blenders, like,
Yeah, yeah.
very, very bad,
Yeah.
you
I don't
know?
know how to this was definitely worse. Way worse than usually it is, and I'm coming from the perspective of, I know control, the spawns, they're not supposed to flip, but you're at least supposed to spawn, like, parallel in, like, you know, farther away from that one square, you know what I mean?
Right.
And, like, for example, what's a good like, hydro control, right? We know where they're gonna spawn, and
Mhm.
we may be in their spawn, and we know they'll be spawning around us. Uh,
Right.
like, if you're in that back green, building, they're gonna be spawning, like, at the rock, or they're gonna be spawning on the hill. Uh,
Yeah.
and, yeah, they'll spawn, like, behind you or whatever. But in Strike, they only spawned at that one square, like, on those
Right.
garbage cans. They didn't go anywhere else, and it was insane.
Right.
Granted, yeah, they weren't the best players, so they weren't
They set
aware and, like,
themselves up for that.
yeah. But Strike, I really like overall.
Yeah. No, I mean, I love Strike,
Mhm,
in this game. Like, Strike obviously is like it's an iconic COD 4 map,
mhm.
um, but again, I just think I mean, it should have been in there in the first place. If they're going to
Yeah.
be adding in these COD 4 maps, I think they should just always be having these consistently good maps
Mhm.
throughout the COD titles. Which honestly, I could take this and kind of segue this into speaking of a game that does do this, bro, is I saw this article that had come out. I believe it was published by by Dexerto, and it was saying that Activision. The headline was Activision confirms Call of Duty Mobile is officially bigger than mainline COD in 2023, and it goes on talking about the quarter 2 financial report. That COD Mobile had exceeded the $3 billion mark in terms of revenue, which is ridiculous.
Mhm.
Um, COD Mobile now accounts for the majority of COD's entire player base, with an average of 90 million players jumping into COD titles on a monthly basis. Over half of all engagement comes from the mobile platforms. And then it says, over the past 6 months, mobile gaming was the biggest cash cow for the publisher, generating $1.9 billion in revenue.
Mhm.
Bro,
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
But for people who don't know about COD Mobile,
Mhm.
which I've played one game on COD Mobile on not my phone, on
Mhm.
somebody else's phone, and I was terrible at it. Played it with like on the actual thing. If I
Yeah.
had a controller, I'd be frying. But what do I load into? Bro, I've got like the ACR and I'm playing on firing range
Yeah.
in 2023.
Yeah. So, it's crazy because COD so, obviously, those analytics, they're very good. It makes sense, like, there are mobile gaming, it will always be bigger than, like, PC gaming and console gaming because
Of
everyone has a
course.
phone, right? So,
Right.
let's get that out of the way because I know
Right.
people are gonna
Easier to access.
they're gonna get
Yep.
over that number. They're gonna be like, "Oh, it's so" Yeah, but it's skewed. It's very skewed,
It's
right?
yeah.
And, again, everyone has a phone. Literally everyone does. People are gonna buy a phone over, like, a console, right?
Right.
And especially outside of America too. A lot of
Mhm.
people, like, they don't have money for PCs, they don't have money for consoles, they're gonna buy a phone. And COD Mobile is free to download. And, you know, that explains why so many people are playing. I mean, dude, if COD was free, I know I put that argument out there, a while ago. I was telling you, I'm like, I think COD should be free, especially
Right.
right now, because the microtransactions, like you said, right? They made so much revenue off of that, which makes complete sense, right? They're killing it with microtransactions, but could you imagine if they made Call of Duty free and that went that route with COD Mobile?
Right.
Um,
Well, and that's where this whole debate, like, I want to start because it's an interesting model that they have over there at COD
mhm.
Mobile compared to the mainline COD.
Yeah, because they're treated. I mean, COD Mobile is an app, right? It is a game, but
Right.
it's an app. So,
Right.
like, think about the amount of money that people spend on like Candy Crush to get like an extra life
Oh,
or whatever.
yeah.
The same thing applies to COD, right? And again, anyone can play COD. It's free. If you have a cell phone, you can play it. And
Right.
COD Mobile, like you, I played more than you, but I mean, I can count definitely less than 10 games I've played.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I did fry though. I cooked these people. I played
Did
it
you
right when COD came out though, when COD Mobile was
Okay.
announced. Um, so it's definitely not right now. Like all the
Yeah.
stuff that they've added. I was playing on
Right, right, right.
my first game was on it was on strike. Yeah, it was on strike.
There you go. Bro, there you go.
And I was using the FAMAS.
Yeah, right?
I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, it's it's such a hodgepodge of,
mhm,
like, different CODs thrown I mean, that's like, for people who maybe don't know anything about it,
mhm.
that's literally what it is. It's like COD greatest hits.
Yeah, basically.
Um, yeah, it's every gun. I don't know exactly what the perk system and, like, operator system is in there, like, how that works.
It's the
Um,
so you can pick like operator skins and stuff like right now, but they
yeah,
released operator skins, it's like, regular COD. They release like bundles and stuff. You can just buy them. I don't know how much
yeah,
they cost. I'm assuming they're
yeah,
way cheaper. They're probably like couple bucks, $5,
yeah,
maybe
yeah,
five
yeah.
bucks, something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, keyboard warriors. But
Mhm.
yeah, the COD Mobile is literally a mix of all the best maps from every Call of Duty, all the best guns, all the cool skins and operators, and you know, us who play on console and we play on, the mainline COD. We're like,
Right.
why can't we get this? And it's all under Activision, but obviously, I don't know the developer that's working on COD Mobile, but it's some like Chinese company, I think, right? Something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, no, I think so.
So they're like supporting all of that. And
Right.
it's just insane to me that they're doing the right thing. Maybe because like legally they're allowed to, and Activision's like, you have full reign, go do it. But in America, we have Sledgehammer, we got Treyarch, we got Infinity Ward, right? And we got like Raven
Right.
Software. Yeah. like
Yep.
helping out developing these games. I don't know. Again, maybe legally in the US, it's just, they have a bunch of restrictions. And Activision was like,
Mhm.
all right, you guys have COD Mobile, do whatever you want with it. So they're just
Right.
putting all the best stuff in the game.
Yeah, I mean, but and obviously it's something that's been working for them,
Mhm.
because of the popularity, and I don't know. I don't think that, like, mainline Call of Duty, I mean, it'll never go to that level.
Mhm.
They're always gonna be pushing the idea of, like, creating new games and new content and not I can't see a world where Call of Duty pulls like a CS:GO, where they
Yeah.
just stays the same game and they don't constantly work on this, like, year to 2-year cycle where they're making a new game. I mean, that's what makes Call of Duty compared to
Yeah,
pretty much every
exactly.
other game.
Mhm.
Um,
And you
but
can
I
argue
think
that's a
though
bad thing or a good thing, you know?
Yeah, no, you definitely
Yeah.
can. And I think it's both,
Yeah. It
you know?
definitely
I
is
think
both.
it
Yeah.
uh, like, I like the fact that it's, like, it's a new challenge for us because every game we get to go and be like, "Oh, yeah," like, for myself, I was not good at X COD, but
Mhm.
I'm really good at this one, and you get to see how good of a player you are. Because like, the people who say COD is COD are morons. Like,
Yeah.
it's just yeah, like, some of the fundamentals are there. Um, it's not like you're gonna be, going 2 and 30 all year on Vanguard, but then you get to MW2 and you're like a god, you know?
Yeah.
Um, there's definitely those peaks and valleys, but there's a big difference between all those CODs, like, a lot of the times.
Mhm.
Um, and that just comes with a learning curve. Like, man, pretty much every time we go to Vanguard, then we came to MW2, like, the CODs that are considered relatively similar, like, we have bad starts to both those years,
Mhm. Yeah.
and especially Cold War.
Yeah.
Um, but going back though, I think that they should take a page out of this book where they have some part of the game or some parts of it that are always going to be mainstays. Like, you will always expect these maps and these guns are going to be in the game no matter what. So it's almost like a safety net, you know what I mean?
Mhm. Which, I mean, that's what we've been talking about, right? Like these battle passes they're releasing. The layout, the map is right there.
Yeah.
Remaster them like a fan favorite. I mean, that's what COD Mobile is doing. Like you said, it's just a mashup of all the COD highlights, right?
Mhm.
And they could do the same exact thing here. Maybe obviously not at that scale, but like why didn't we get Strike in season 1? Like why don't
Right.
we have like High Rise? Why don't we have Terminal? They'd be doing the same thing as COD Mobile, just at a smaller scale, obviously, right? I
Mhm.
do agree that I like the change of like, a new COD every year or two. It's supposed to be every 2 years, right? Now it's every year. Again, whatever. But
What you talking about, bro? I don't know.
I like that. Like you said, it does test you. Um, but COD Mobile, right? That doesn't change. I think there's good and bad things about it. Like I think if COD ever just stays the same, right? It's gonna turn into like Rainbow Six.
Yeah.
And for me at least, I think for casual players, you guys, us, that's really hard to get into because there's going to be so many different operators, so many different weapons. They're going to keep constantly updating the game, right? They have to like change it up. And
Right.
imagine being new to the game, right? And you load in, it's like we have 150 attachments right now already. Imagine like the guns from every single game, every COD, and all these maps and all these operators on PC and console. Like that's hard to grasp for, your average person.
Right.
Um which is why, the new COD every year, I do like it. We get it. This is this is the COD of the year, right? These are the weapons, these are the maps. Let us get used to it, and then during the season pass like updates, you should be remastering old maps and taking a piece from COD Mobile.
Yeah, and I feel like that would take so much work off of their backs too, you know, is going back and I mean this opens up into a whole other thing too that I've seen recently. Was it not even recently? I mean, everybody knows it's just been a thing in gaming in general now, like these remastered games. Which, you could think about that how you'd like to, like whether it's good or bad. I think it's
Mhm,
both. But that's like the whole thing with COD. Like I think like taking the exact same stance on it. I do definitely want remastered maps because and I
mhm,
want like remastered games. There's some games that should be played and they should be experienced now. However, I do think they should try to create some new IPs. Like they should make some new maps because like there are some really good maps that have been made. Like I can't remember it's not the Vondel waterfront map. Like that map is whatever. I've played
mhm.
that a decent amount now. I can't remember the name of the map. It's the like district map, like Kundastar, or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know
I
what
know
I'm
what you're
talking
talking
about.
about, yeah.
That map's actually pretty solid.
Yeah, that
Like
map's fun, yeah,
yeah, I like that
yeah,
map. Um, like surprisingly, you know what
yeah,
I mean? Because I mean, some of the other maps they made are like whatever. Himmelmat, like same thing for pubs. It's solid.
mhm,
You know, for public or for ranked, I don't think it's as
yeah,
good. Like they could probably Strike would have been a lot better.
yeah. Or
Um,
even that map, the one that
yeah,
you're
the
talking about.
district, yeah,
Yeah, I think that
right.
map would work really well in ranked, compared
Yeah,
to
I do
Himmelmat.
yeah, I do too. Um, but that's the thing, like, there needs to be a good blend of this where they're making some new maps, like 1 or 2, and then throwing in these remastered. I mean, dude, think about the pool of maps that they have to draw from.
Mhm,
Like, hundreds and hundreds of maps
mhm.
that they could be remastering or that they could just maybe cherry pick, like, 30,
Yeah.
you know?
Well,
30
see
of the
yeah,
best maps and just rock with those, and
yeah,
I'd be happy.
yeah, and see, that's the thing, it's like, the solution seems very simple, like, in the battle path. Like, you'll release
Right,
one map that's brand new, and then another fan favorite map.
right,
And I don't I'm not gonna speak for the developers, but I'd imagine a lot of these people, they have played the game, and they're like, "Yeah, we know that, but it's something" there's so many layers in Activision, right? There has
right,
to be a
right,
reason why they're not doing it. Because
right,
imagine if they yeah, they release Terminal, people are gonna come back and play. They release High Rise,
right.
they're gonna come back and play. There's just something stopping them, and I just wish, they're transparent enough to say why, but obviously, it's gotta be some legal thing, right?
Right. Well, like the thing that I could understand is like say like right now IWK they want to go and remaster like I don't know, say like a map from World at War, right?
Mhm.
Made by Treyarch. I could somehow see that being an issue because Treyarch's like, oh, that's our like we developed that. Like, but even still, like that's under the umbrella of Activision.
Mhm.
So I wouldn't really see the problem. But if there was going to be any, like, I can somewhat, you
Yeah.
know. But like we talked about this on episode 129, uh, where I just don't understand why like with the whole COD Mobile thing, if we're going to be adding in fan favorite maps and just keeping them in there, and we got MW2, add in these maps that are already in the game
Mhm.
and people would be happy to have them.
Yeah.
I mean, how many uh, I feel like it's almost like every year now, like since like the Modern Warfare cycle has kicked in, that people have been wanting these like they've wanted the terminals, they've wanted the high rises, they've wanted the scrap yards
Mhm.
and like all these basic maps. And there's something holding them back from doing that.
Yeah, exactly, and like you said, if, IW wanted to remaster, a Black Ops map, Treyarch map, right? I can see where that's an issue, but,
Right.
um, I can see that more of an issue than them just, like, remastering one of their own maps, but again, it's not like
Right.
IW and Sledgehammer, they have fan favorite maps. All developers have their own fan favorite maps. So
Right.
aren't you remastering your own maps? And
Yeah.
I'm naive. I'm just a pure casual, right?
Right.
I'd imagine it something to do like legally. Why they're not
Yeah.
doing
It's
it?
got to be.
Because I would understand if maybe they're holding it off, right, for like a future game. They're developing a game and it's all coming, right? But like we don't know that, which is why
Right.
all of us are saying, well, why don't you just remaster this map? And what if it does come out, could come out like 3 years from now, right? And oh yeah,
Right.
that's great. But the thing is, we don't know if that's even being developed.
Right.
So maybe like we don't
Yeah.
want to keep hoping for nothing.
Yeah. Nah, I agree. I mean, I think that's where COD Mobile, like, they have a good formula there
Mhm.
that they're sticking with where they and now I don't know if they've made maps that are specifically on that server that don't exist anywhere else in Call of Duty. Do you know?
I mean, as far as I know, they're all mapped from, like, Call of Duty. Like, they haven't made, like,
Yeah,
any new ones. The only things that are new on COD Mobile that are not in, like, mainline COD is, like, the skins and stuff. Like, they've designed their own
right.
skins and camos.
Right. Well, like, kinda, like, wrapping up on that, dude, is, like, I just saw this, I've seen, quite a few,
You
but I
see the
just saw
Ghost
one
one
this
on
morning.
firing range? Dude, that's insane.
Dude!
That was so cool.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
It's,
it's so awesome.
it looked like the M4. It was I think it was an
Yeah.
M4, and when you inspect the gun, it has, like, a skull levitating in the middle of the gun, and it disappears, and you're spectating nothing, and it comes back. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And it's only on
Like
COD Mobile.
right, of course. And I mean, like, we've talked about before, some of these bundles, like, they've had some cool stuff,
Mhm,
but, that's where, of course, they get you, is because that game is free.
mhm.
And I'm of course like that. If COD was free, like I would definitely spend more money on these
Mhm.
bundles just because I'm able to, and I don't feel as guilty about it. But
Yeah.
I'm already off the rip $70. Well, is it no? Yeah,
Yeah,
just
70.
70.
On
Right. I didn't.
PS5,
I couldn't.
yeah, 70.
Yeah, I couldn't think of it any more if you pre-ordered it. If it was like
Mhm.
80 if you pre-order it or something. But yeah, you're already like pushing $100
Yeah.
for this game,
Mhm,
where you think about if you're going into it for free, I mean,
mhm,
that could be right there 3 really like if they're $20, which, we already talked about, we hate that. If they're $20 bundles, even
mhm.
if they're $10 bundles, whatever it may be, that's already some good content that you could be buying in the game,
Yeah.
if you can't earn it through playing anyway.
Exactly, and I know there's a whole, like, strategy behind, like, for, like, mobile microtransactions and, like, console and PC microtransactions, right? And I know I brought up, I think COD should be free, like, now, at this point. Um,
I think it should be too, based around everything else that's
yeah,
becoming free.
I think it would bring way more players into the scene, and it would just grow the scene even more. But my fear is that it becomes like a mobile app. Like, the games that we're on the PlayStation Store and we look at it, I'm like, this is an app. Like,
Right.
it shouldn't be a console game, right? You lose so
Yeah.
much quality making like, okay, no, let me rephrase that because you don't lose a lot of quality when the game's free. Like, Fortnite's great and it's a free game, but the developer can start adding a bunch of microtransactions on like console and make it like worse, right? And increase that barrier to entry by adding those microtransactions, like Rainbow Six, right? If you buy the game's been free like for a while, you can buy the game. Like they have a lot of sales where you can download it for free, and then you have the
Mhm.
base operators. But if those base operators are good, you can get really good at them. But if you want the new operators, you have to buy them. And they have like
Right.
cool specialists, cool weapons and stuff like that. So why wouldn't you want to buy them? You feel like you're at a disadvantage if you don't
Yeah.
have them. Um,
Yeah.
but like uh, mobile microtransactions are way cheaper than console because you got to think more people have a phone, so they're more willing to spend like a dollar on a coin, like 10 coins or whatever. I'd imagine the range would be from $1 to $10, and then the high would be $20 for,
Right.
some bundle or whatever. But
Right.
that's what they need to bring to mainline COD. Like it shouldn't I understand why $20 for a whole bundle. They're thinking, oh, if you're willing to spend, a couple $100 on a console or thousands of dollars on a PC, you've got the money to spend the $20 on the bundle, because
Mhm.
you're already going out of your way to buy a console or PC to experience it in a better way than people
Right.
that just, download an app and then we just twiddle our thumbs, literally.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, $1, yeah, I'll buy a life, whatever.
Yeah. No, the value of those bundles, like, again, if it's gonna be $20, I feel a lot more like, I don't know, just more willing to pay that money when I didn't have to make that initial investment.
Mhm.
And I also think too, like, um, I don't know how it works on COD Mobile regarding what's in those bundles, if there's a whole bunch of extra stuff, or if it's mainly focused on like, you know, gun skins and cosmetics,
Mhm.
you know? Because I would say probably for both of us, that's all we care about. I don't care about like, I mean, titles and emblems maybe, um, but stickers and emotes and stuff like I don't care about that at
Mhm.
all. Um, it's really just like those two main things, like gun skins and like character skins.
Mhm.
Um, if they're selling those in packs or they're selling them individually, that's a whole other thing. Like I probably would spend way more
Yeah.
if I could be buying them that way, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
you see these people who could like they'll spend like hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars on a game.
Mhm.
That's how you get them because you keep forgetting that like, oh, it's 10 bucks. Oh, it's 10 bucks. It's 10
Yeah.
bucks, whatever, you know? Instead of knowing that you already spent all this money on the game right off the rip. And then you got to
Yeah.
shuffle through all this nonsense that you don't even care about in the game,
Yeah,
you know?
and like you said, COD Mobile just has a really good system where buying the gun skin or the character skin, that's what people want, and they do a really, really good job of just, like, separating those, and I'm sure you can buy it
Right.
as a bundle too, um, but, if you're on console where the main game is, we just don't have that luxury, which is just really annoying.
It is. It sucks.
Mhm.
You know, I wish it was different, but I don't know. I mean, I'm curious what people listening think about it. You know, if
Mhm.
you could if you could go towards the model of COD Mobile as to what they're doing, would
Mhm.
you do that? You know, I tend to agree with you a lot on the model that Call of Duty should become a free game. I think in this current market where a lot of these games are becoming free, um, they really have to offer a lot at that $70 like AAA price tag.
Mhm.
Um, for let's be honest, they're not giving you that AAA experience,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Especially on the multiplayer side, they're not.
Yeah, and look, I know every year, people say COD's dead, COD's dead. Every month that COD comes out, they just keep having record-breaking years in revenue or
Oh,
X
yeah.
number of copies sold. It always happens, right?
Yeah, it's always gonna be that way.
Um, but, there is something to be said if they went to that free model route and they just do a bunch of microtransactions on top of that. But again, I'm just afraid of I think COD should be free, but they can't go towards the quality level, I guess, of like mobile games and apps.
Right.
Because, for the most part, mobile games, they're more okay, you're in line waiting for something. You pull out your phone, play like a quick game of something, right? They got to be quick and keep your attention span for just,
Yeah.
a minute or two, something like that.
Right, right.
If you're playing like a Call of Duty like game, you're there for like 10 minutes minimum, you know?
Mhm.
Um, and if you're already like gaming and like I'm pretty sure in COD Mobile you can just pull it up and you can play a quick game of TDM. It's really quick.
You can, yeah.
Yeah. So you can do that while in line waiting to pay or something. But for us, right? We're expecting, all right, you're gonna be invested for like a half hour or something like that. And then at that point,
Mhm.
you should be playing on console.
Right,
So
right.
I don't want that COD experience from mobile over onto console, and the quality level is just worse. Now it feels like a mobile
Right.
app, and it shouldn't feel like a mobile app. It should feel like a movie,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah. No, 100%. I think that, I mean, I second everything that you said there. Um, and I know, like, what we both want from it is really just a lot of the additions and, like, what they have to offer that should be included in mainline COD.
Mhm,
um, because that's clearly a big selling point for people as well. Like, obviously, the fact that you can play it anywhere, anytime, and it's
mhm,
free is like that's the main selling point. But for a lot of people, like, I mean, how many people that we see online, um, who they reminisce about old CODs or like this was their favorite COD. Well, now you can go and pretty much experience all of those
mhm,
playing that. You know, it's the same thing with like we talked about it a couple episodes ago when they had the news about these servers on the old CODs being brought back up. How many people are probably still playing that? I guarantee you a ton of people.
yeah,
You know, because that's all people want to experience. And if you could get the chance to experience that on a new COD,
mhm,
um, or just like a compilation of all of them, I think people would be all over it.
Oh yeah, I completely agree
But that's a
too.
huge change though for COD. That's a massive change.
Yeah, and that's why I think the route that we mentioned, the battle pass, I think we both agree they're here to stay, right? The
Mhm.
microtransactions are here
Yeah.
to stay.
Yeah.
But the path is right there to release these remastered maps, like one at a time, whatever. Take all the biggest maps and just put them in there. Um,
Yeah.
or they, go back. They still have the battle pass, or go back to releasing DLC packs and remastering
Yeah.
those maps. Right. Personally, I don't want them to do that because I think it's bullshit that we would have to repay for maps that we got for free in the old games. Um,
Yeah.
but if their goal is, you guys want these maps, here they are. You just got to pay
Right.
$15 for them.
Yeah.
And like to me, that's like okay, you just want cash at that point.
Yeah, that
But
they're trying to cash out.
yeah, but they know they can because I would pay for them.
Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
um, it
I would
it just
especially pay for them if the game was free,
oh yeah, exactly.
you
It's
know?
just it's unfortunate that it's come to that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's again, I think it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be a long time before anything like that changes,
Mhm,
or we see any major changes like this. Um, I do think though, like, kinda closing up is I do think hot take, I think probably within the next 5 to 10 years, I think COD will become a free game.
mhm. I mean,
Um,
I think COD should be free in the current state. Um,
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if it is free within that time frame. And I do know that uh, I was mentioning before, like Rainbow Six, for example. I know it's not a direct comparison, but Rainbow Six was made to be a competitive game. That's why that you
right,
get your base operators, and then you're paying
right,
money like
right.
every year for new operators. It's
Mhm.
designed to be competitive, and Call of Duty is not designed to be competitive.
Right,
It's
right,
supposed to be for casuals like us. But it just so happens that Call of Duty is the biggest FPS in the world, and
right.
obviously we live in the competitive space too. And it's hard turning a casual game into a very competitive game, but like
Yeah,
it's possible.
it is
Um,
possible to do it.
yeah. So it's just, yeah, no, it's interesting. I do side with, I think the game should be free, and
Yeah.
or you just give Treyarch the keys and go back to Black Ops 4. How like Black Ops 4 was just nearly perfect. That game was phenomenal.
That would be the ideal world, right?
Yeah. Like they had these cool reactive camos, cool ass camos for their weapons, cool character skins. You didn't have to pay to buy all of it. You can actually work and get your
Yeah.
cases and then sell them off. Yeah. Like imagine that system, and like I know MW3 didn't have any of that stuff, but imagine taking all those best pieces and just putting them into one game.
It'd
Like
be
it's
great,
yeah, it's great.
you know? I mean, that's the other alternative, but, it's just so hard to see what they're gonna do because it seems like Activision is just so greedy with,
Yeah.
like, trying to get any cent that they can out of people.
Mhm.
So it's hard, like, I mean, if you're saying, like, 5 to 10 years, think it's
Mhm.
gonna be free. It's still hard to say that because of how much money they make off the sales of that game,
Exactly.
and I
Every month.
don't and I right, and I just don't know how much they're really gonna be able to like, how much they would be able to convert if they switched that model, but
Yeah.
you do see, like, how many people do play COD Mobile
Mhm.
and thinking that, like, what they could do with that on a big scale,
Yeah.
I mean, they could crush it.
Yeah, they could. They just, there obviously there's a lot of analysis into this because changing models it's not
Yeah.
simple. You can't like
No, no, no.
what
That's above my pay grade, bro.
yeah, like why why change something when it's not broken, right? Like
Exactly.
that's what we've
Right.
said. Well, I know we sound like why would they change that in Call of Duty? And they
And
do change it and we say it. We're like, why?
you know too better than anybody, right? At the end of the day, what does a company care about?
Yeah. They got to care
That
about that
bottom
bottom
line,
line.
bro.
If you're if
That bottom line,
you're a
bro.
public company,
That's all you care.
you have to satisfy, those stakeholders. You have to.
Yeah.
And
So all they see is green and they're like, "Alright."
yeah, we're good. Yeah. Why
Yeah, we're
not?
we're
Why
we're
should we
good. We're
give
good.
more power to the player? Why should we?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
you have to.
everybody's fat and happy on their side.
Yeah, I think it really depends. The developer has to do something, right?
Yeah.
And even if these developers come up with great ideas, it could be shut down, but by
Yeah.
the top. Um, but I mean, dude, Treyarch they figured it out. They work with all the issues, right?
Yeah.
But sadly, we're not in Treyarch's year.
No, we'll have to wait
Mhm.
another 2 years then, or well, technically, I guess another year. 2024 is when it'll come out.
Yeah,
But
but I do believe in Sledgehammer though. They made MW3, right?
I do too, bro. I have the faith
Just
in them.
I have faith in them. They always try to innovate. I know they Advanced Warfare, they made that big change with jetpacks. People liked it. A lot of people hated it. And then they made the change. All right, you guys hate jetpacks. Let's go to boots on the ground and make the worst Call of Duty ever made, World War II.
Right,
And
right,
they brought it back, and people are like, "Yeah, that's what we wanted." And now this state, people are like, "Let's go back to jetpacks." Low key
right.
wasn't that bad. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Dude, and then what's gonna happen after jetpacks? Yo, dude, World War II though, that's, like, honestly a vibe. Honestly, I love World War
Yeah.
II, bro. Like, that's like, dude, it's the cycle.
No, it's
It's
a
the COD
cycle, yeah.
cycle.
So Sledgehammer, again, it's probably gonna be a reskin of MW2. Just make it, better than what it is.
Yeah.
Put red
That's
dots.
all we can ask for, bro.
I swear, dude, if they just put red dots in and the maps are decent,
We already go full point higher in our end
dude,
of year
yeah,
rant.
it's way better. Like, not to go on a
Yeah,
rant
it's way
about, but
better.
dude, Cold War,
Yeah,
what? There are only 8 maps, right? I think it was 8.
yeah.
And we've played that game more than MW, Vanguard, and MW2. We played the same
Dude, I
map
was
over and over and over again.
Yeah, dude, I was talking to our buddy, from the raid episodes yesterday, and he was saying the same thing. He's like, "Dude," he says MW he's like, "I love MW2. He's like, "That's a great game, dude." He's
Mhm.
like, "But dude, if they just added red dots to that and dead silence," he's like, "That game's godlike." I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
like,
It's good.
I wouldn't say godlike, but
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
say it's up there. Like,
yeah,
it's a good COD, you
yeah.
know?
Like, the fact
And
that
I
we
know you mean the same thing, but
yeah, we go back to Cold War, like, dude, Cold War is not the best Call of Duty, like, ever. It
no,
is not even close, right? It's up there in the
no.
past 5 years. It's actually the best
It's the
best
best in
in the
recent
past 5,
years.
right?
Yes. Yes.
But, dude, they had 8 maps. Do you know how many times we played Moscow, dude? Like,
Yeah.
and again, those maps weren't amazing. They're not,
No.
like, memorable maps. Like, if I can play on High Rise or Moscow, I think everybody's gonna choose High Rise. Like,
Yeah, 1,000%, everyone's choosing that one.
so again, like, they just need decent maps and, you know, add the red
They
dots.
lay that Yeah, they lay the foundation,
Mhm,
have a good foundation, and then
mhm.
we're good to go.
Yeah, and MW2, we've said it from the beginning, has a very solid base, you know? Just imagine they add red dots. Dude, imagine if they just added red dots, that's it. They don't do anything else to the game.
I know,
It's
bro. I
just
know. It's all they needed.
it's way better immediately.
But we'll have to wait until MW3 to see if they actually listen to our beck and calls here.
I know, yeah. I know we're just going
I
on a
don't know.
rant, but man.
Yeah.
And then
Dude,
people are like, red dots don't matter. I'm not listening to you.
dude,
You gotta play
bro, if
Call of
someone says yeah, if someone says that, I literally you're invalid. I don't care.
You just don't play Call of Duty
You haven't
enough.
played enough. You haven't
Yeah.
played. No.
They're like, it
But
doesn't do anything. Go play hardcore.
no. Yeah. Yeah, seriously. Yeah, make a hardcore playlist and then you're
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
But whatever though. But no, I'm curious though, for people who are listening, let us know what you think about the whole COD Mobile debate that we just had, and then
Mhm.
also our Red Dot debate too. You agree with that? If you don't
Although,
think Red Dot should be in the game, I don't even want
yeah.
to listen to that.
I better not see one vote of should red dots be in the game. No. If I
Yeah.
see one,
Yeah.
guys, on Spotify,
We will find that
yeah.
person, bro.
Yeah. We're calling you out in the next episode.
Yeah. Probably like whoever you are, like call out the name,
Yeah.
dox them.
Yeah. This person doesn't want red dots.
Yeah. You
Like,
go get your pitchforks and all
yeah.
that stuff for that person. But anyway, man, do you have anything else you wanted to add before we wrap this up?
No, I
Are we good?
think we're good.
And they were good too. So again, everybody, thank you so much for listening to episode 131 of the COD Casuals podcast. We also, along with this going on YouTube, we have been posting our reaction to the Boston Breaches Into the Breach series. So be sure to go check that out as well. We will have, by the time this comes up, how many will we have up now? Will it be
All 5.
4 or all 5 will
Yeah,
be
all
up?
5 will
So
be
you
up.
can just go and you can go binge all of them.
Yeah, I'll link them in the description below.
Yeah. So we'll have that. So again, for even the audio listeners, be sure to go to the YouTube to check those out as well as this, and be sure to comment, like, subscribe. Of course, anchor.fm/COD Casuals for all streaming platforms. Be sure to leave a 5-star rating wherever you end up going, as well as going to our Instagram and our TikTok, where if you don't want to listen to the whole podcast, you can go and check out our shorts there. The shorts have been doing great. We've had a lot of support on those. So everybody who's been liking those and viewing them, we appreciate you.
Yeah.
And I think that's it, bro. I think we're good to go.
And like, one last thing, if for the people watching on YouTube, let us know if you guys like this vibe, and maybe we'll do like more of these, like off ones.
Yeah,
you know, just
I like these, dude. These are fun.
Yeah, like, you know,
it's a different vibe.
Obviously, it's easy because Mike's at home, I'm at home. Like, we don't need to meet up together, but we're definitely not going to stop the in-person podcast. This is just another option.
Nah, dude, no shot.
Yeah.
No shot.
But yeah, let us know what you guys think of our first ever virtual podcast.
Absolutely. Yeah, let us know in the comments below on YouTube.
Yep.
Perfect. All right, let's go again. This has been episode 131 of the COD Casuals podcast. We're your host, Mike.
I'm Justin.
And we'll see you in the next one. Take it easy, everybody.
See ya.